this particular video is about introduction to mechanical properties of solids. Alright. Now when we say mechanical properties of solids, you need to understand what is a solid. Alright. A very simple definition. Anything which has a definite shape and a definite volume, we call that as a solid. Alright. Now you can take n number of examples for solids, correct? And everything has a definite shape. As in, whatever solids you are going to consider, they all have a definite shape and they all have a definite volume. Correct? Now, if you apply force onto a solid, see, sometimes the body can deform, sometimes nothing will happen, it's just going to be rebound. Correct? I mean, both the cases can happen. But in some extreme cases, once you are going to apply a force on the solid, on the body, then it's going to be permanently deformed. Even this case is also possible, isn't it? So, what type of force are you applying and how do we, determine whether it's going to deform or not, like permanently? Now, here comes another new concept called as elasticity and plasticity. Okay. Now, elasticity meaning what? It is the tendency of the body to regain its original form after applying the deforming force. Now, you can think of a lot of examples for this. Okay, like if you take sponge, okay, so you press the sponge and when you leave it, it's going to regain its original shape. That means there is elasticity or elastic property. Correct? Now, this, whatever the force you are applying, it's called as the deforming force. Alright, and the force with which it's going to come back, alright, or this type of deformation, we call that as elastic deformation. Okay, let me repeat that again, elastic deformation. Now there are certain other examples, okay, like if you take an example of clay, okay, clay or what we use it for the wall, we call it as putty, that also. Now there, if you apply a force, there is going to be a permanent damage, correct? Now it's not going to regain its original shape, isn't it? Now these are what we call as plastic materials and the property is called as plasticity. Okay, now elasticity is where by the body itself, it's going to regain its original shape. Okay, like sponge or spring or some of the examples. Alright, but plasticity or plastic materials, they do not regain their own shape by themselves. You can apply another external force and make it into its original shape, but not by themselves. Alright, now that you understood there are two types of materials, one is elastic material, one is plastic material. Now we'll look at the next concept of how we can how a body is basically elastic, like most of the solids are elastic. Alright, and you're going to learn about lot of other things about solids in this particular chapter.